Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a color correcting 101 type of video. It's going to be all about color correcting, and I'm going to show you guys a demo of color correcting on my face, and I'm also going to brief you guys on each of the colors and kind of their intended purposes, and hopefully you guys can use that information to kind of customize color correcting for your own face depending on your skin needs and things that you want out of color correcting. So if you guys are interested in this color correcting video, then please keep watching. So the 4 color correcting shades are peach, green, purple, and orange. And the way that this works is color theory, the color wheel, whatever is opposite of the color that you're trying to cancel out on the wheel is going to cancel out that tone in the shade. I'm going to show you guys on the color wheel. It's a little bit easier to explain. So here's the color wheel. For example, if you have rosacea, blotchy skin, this also says it would work with sunburn, blemishes, just red blotchy parts on the skin, you know, around the corners of the nose you get redness, sometimes you have redness around the mouth, things like that. Red tones are going to be canceled out by the green color corrector because they're directly opposite each other, the color wheel. If you have really dark under eyes, sometimes we get blue right here on the eye, so you guys can see blue and brown, they are canceled out by orange and peach. So you're going to use the orange and peach color correctors on the parts of the skin that are looking brown or blue bruised-ish, you know what I'm talking about? And then if you have skin that has yellow hyperpigmentation, a washed out complexion, or just sallowness in the skin, which would be yellow, it is canceled out by the purple corrector. So these are the Smashbox color correcting sticks, and these are very pigmented, so you want to make sure that you get them nice and blended out before you start working on your base. What you're going to want to do is apply these to your bare skin. Well, if you're going to wear a primer, you put the primer on first, and then you do your color correcting, and then you move on to the rest of your base with foundation, concealer, powder, all of that. So you want to make sure that this is either the first or the second step in your routine if you do primer first. I am a huge fan of the purple color corrector just because I find that with my skin tone it does really help, and I actually personally like to use the purple under the eyes as well and in the corners of my eyes. And another one of my favorite color correctors is actually by Yves Saint Laurent, and it is the purple color corrector. I don't know if this is like has a specific name, but it's the purple one. Yves Saint Laurent has a touche color correctors, so they're all these colors just in touche form, and I really enjoy this under, sorry guys, Mackenzie texted me. I love these because they are sheer and milky and you don't need a lot of product, and it just brightens up the under eye. So I think that's everything I wanted to say about these, and now we can get into the demo. I'm going to use all 4 on my face, kind of showing the different colors, showing them in action, their different purposes, and just an actual demo for you guys. I'm going to start off with the orange and peach color correctors, and now you guys know orange and peach tones cancel out brown and blue on the skin, so this is going to be ideal for any really dark hyperpigmentation that you have on the face, or especially just under the eyes and in the inner corners of the eyes. This really dark orange one is going to be great for medium dark to ebony skin tones, and then the lighter peachy shade is going to be great for everybody else who this is a little bit too dark for. So I'm going to try the orange one. I'm going to just do a little bit under my eye where it's the darkest. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the peachy one and put that on the inner corner of the eye. Because surprisingly, I feel like I don't have that much darkness underneath my eye. I really just get the darkness like on the inner corner. So. And I've got a little bit of hyperpigmentation on the forehead, so I'm just going to apply a couple dots there as well. Now for the green corrector, so this is going to cancel out any redness in the skin. Blemishes, sunburn, rosacea, blotchiness, just any place that you have redness. So typically for me, that would be right under the corners of my nose. So you And then we're gonna go in with the purple crayon, and you're gonna put this wherever you have yellow tones, your skin looks sallow or washed out, and you wanna add brightness back into the skin. That's where you're gonna use purple. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this on the outer corners of my eyes, because that's where I have yellow skin. I don't know why, but there's a little bit of yellowness there that I'm seeing. So I'm gonna put some purple there, and then I'm also gonna put a little bit of purple right here. And I guess you could put it in the center of your forehead as well, and your chin. And I'm also gonna put a little bit around my mouth because I've got some yellow there. So just a little bit. So there's my color corrected face. Now that we've got all of our color correcting on our face, I'm gonna take a little bit of Fix Plus from MAC and just spray this all over the entire face so that this blends out a little bit better, easier, you know what I mean? I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to start blending all of this in, colors going from lightest to darkest. So I'm going to start off with the purple and just kind of tap the beauty blender in that area. I might have sprayed a little bit too much Fix Plus, but that's okay because it'll dry. But I would have been okay if I had just sprayed like a little bit less. Blend in the peach. You will still see a faint hint of that color on the skin. You don't want it to blend away completely, but you don't want it to just be sitting on your skin, peeking through your foundation and concealer. So just blend it until it's a hint. And you guys will be able to see this a little bit better when I do these darker colors. So I'm gonna do the orange first, and then we'll finish off with the green. And then last thing I'm gonna blend is the green. Now that everything is blended out, you guys can really see, it's just kind of like a faint bit of purple right there. You guys can really see the orange under the eyes. There's a little bit of a faint greenness around my nose to counteract the redness, and then I've got some purple around my mouth to kind of counteract any yellow tones, same as the other side, and then I've got those orange spots to counteract that brown hyperpigmentation. Now that you've got all of this blended out, you can go in with your foundation. And you would apply this the way you typically would. I'm going to be using Dior Star foundation, and I'm just going to take a pump of this and apply it directly to my face. And then I'm just going to blend everything out as I typically would with my beauty blender. So just in patting motions. And again, you're just going to apply concealer as you normally would. So I'm going to go in with my Glossier Stretch Concealer. And in turn of color correcting, you should need significantly less concealer. So I'm just putting a little bit on the corners of my nose. Just because I didn't want a full coverage foundation look over my entire face. So you can still see just the slightest hint of the orange under the eyes and the green around my nose. So I did want to cover it up with a little bit of concealer just to kind of cancel out all those tones. Blend it out with your beauty blender. Alright, and then you guys can go in with powder, bronzer, blush, whatever you want, the whole shebang. So I'm going to do the rest of my face, and then I will talk to you guys when I'm done. So here's my finished face post color correcting. And you want to make sure that you can't see the tones underneath the foundation and concealer and powder and all of that, because that's the end goal. You just want to neutralize any of those strong shades of red, brown, yellow, whatever you're doing. You want to make sure that you don't see it through the foundation and concealer. And that's why you don't want to use a lot of the color correcting product, because the more you use, in turn, the more foundation and concealer you're gonna have to put on top of that color. So just a light layer to kind of neutralize and camouflage the tone is going to be sufficient enough. You don't need to use a ton, because you're still gonna be putting foundation and concealer on top, and that's 2 more layers of coverage. So just a nice light wash of that color. Make sure you blend it out, and then in the end, I promise you won't see any of the tones under the face. If you use a little bit too much, that can be a problem that you'll run into. You'll sometimes see a lot of green and orange under the face of the makeup. So that's my tip to you guys. Less is more with color correcting.